Hey there. Today I would like to talk about a very interesting fountain pen which I recently got, and I have to warn you, this is a pre-owned pen that is no longer available via regular sources. And I'm talking about what is considered to be a very originally designed pen, and that is the Omas 360. Now, the Omas 360 is still produced, but the new model is completely different from the original model. And I was able to get one of the original models, which was very nice, because I really wanted to try and get one of these, because I had used someone else's 360 on a pen show, and I was sold straight away. This is a very unique pen, and I'm very happy I was able to get one. So, this is pre-owned, which means the pen is not in a absolutely perfect, blemishless state, but it certainly is very, very fine, in a very good condition, and it writes beautifully. So I'm going to talk about that today. I even got the original box, which is a sort of faux leather thing that's going on, and it's heavy. This is a surprisingly heavy box. I was really surprised. Also, I got a bottle of Omas blue ink with it, which was very cool. It is, well, I think empty for 2/3, but I mean, that wasn't listed on the in the description when I bought the pen, so I thought that was a really nice sort of added thing. And I didn't have Omas ink yet, so it's interesting to try and use that. I put it in the pen, and I'll discuss the pen now, and then I'll show you how it writes. So, when you open this box, you see the pen with the original pen pouch. I'll come back to that in a second. The box is nice. This too is the fake leather thing. You can open this up. Out comes the booklet, which is very nice. Actually, sort of full color thing with the different nibs that Omas makes, and the demonstrations of the line widths, etc. So that's pretty cool. The pen and the pen pouch, this is a, I think, leather. Well, I'm sorry, I give it a smell, but leather usually, I think this is, well, I'm not sure whether it's real leather. In any case, it is leather-like, and it's really nice. I think it's very pretty cool, simple pouch. Now here we get the pen, and here we have something truly unique. I'm not kidding, this is a very interesting pen. And if you just see it, you think, well, what's so special about that? Well, it is triangular. I think this is officially called a curvilinear triangle, because the sides of the triangle are not entirely straight, but are slightly curved out. So you get a nice shape that is slightly rounded off, and yet it is triangular. And when I say triangular, I mean triangular. I mean there are other pens that are sort of triangular. I did a review on the Lamy M Nex 88, or 88 Nex, or whatever, it's in my videos, and that is triangular-like, but not fully triangular. This is like a pyramid. It's amazing. And the funniest thing is, this looks insanely uncomfortable to hold and write with. Well, nothing is further from the truth. It is extremely pleasant to write with, at least to me. Some people don't like it, but I loved it from the moment I held it. So I'll cover the pen, and I'll tell you what I like about it. I'll tell you what I don't like about it, which is nothing, and then I'll show you how it writes. This is a big pen. I think this is about 6 inches or something, and I have large hands, but you can see this is a serious pen, and that means you could post it, and then it's huge. Yeah, so I don't do that. It's not necessary, because even unposted, it is more than large enough for me to hold comfortably. So let's have a look at let's start at the cap. there's this very nice Greek meander shape thing on this gold band going on, which I like a lot. I think that's a very nice touch. The clip has a fairly unique shape. As you can see, it is very flexible. It works perfectly. I like this, the broad band, and then a much narrower band with a little bit of the, I think this is vegetal resin in between. The color overall is extremely deep blue. I think this is indigo. It's almost black, but it is, as you can see in the reflection of the light, it is bluish. But if it's a little darker, if it's not extremely bright light, then it just looks black, which I think is also very cool. Very nice color. It's nice and reflective, not too reflective, not, you know, too dull. I think that's brilliant. At the end we have another gold band, and you may be able to see there is a very fine line running there. That is because you can twist this end. I'm not going to do that because it's inked up, but it is a piston filler. So if you twist it around, a piston, for those of you not familiar with that system, the piston moves back. Well, actually, if I would twist it now, a piston would move forward down there. So this is the nib side. You put the nib in a bottle of ink, then you twist this thing the other way around. The piston moves up, it sucks up ink into the pen, and you're done. You don't need a cartridge, you don't need a converter, because the pen is self-contained, which is something I love. Okay, well, let's have a look at the nib. Again, around the grip section, you get this beautiful meander-shaped thing in a gold band, and another narrower band, highly comparable to the thing on the cap, right? The feed, if I understood correctly, is hard rubber, and the nib is gold. Now, I read a lot about two-tone gold nibs. Mine just seems to be gold. I don't see any two tones on that. I have to say, I don't really mind. I don't care an awful lot about the way the nib looks, but I care more about the way it writes, and it writes extremely smoothly. What is sure is that this is 18 karat. It says a couple of things. It has a sort of, well, arrow-like thing etched in the nib. You may be able to see that. So that's the, what do you call it? I think the fletch of the arrow, and then at the very tip of the nib there is the actual arrow head. The nib also says Omas in a very nice logo, which I like because it looks just like, that's a MA, so that looks just like a bunch of lines drawn with a pen. That's very cool. It says 750 and 18K, and 750 divided by 1000 multiplied by 24 is indeed 18, and that's 18 carats of gold. So an 18 karat gold nib, smooth, perhaps a little bit flexible. I didn't think it was extremely flexible, but there is some flex to it. Very, very smooth. Now, the big issue, I've talked you through the pen. The big issue is this pleasant to hold? Because it's so triangular, it's fairly large. I can imagine a lot of you are thinking, well, this has to be a terrible pen to hold. It must be sharp. You must feel these edges cut into your skin. Nope, nothing of the sort going on. You hold it. I mean, think about the way you hold a pen. At least I have a pen rest on my middle finger, under the grip section, curled under the grip section, and then my index finger and thumb grab the pen. Now, that creates kind of like a triangular shape, right? And that's exactly what this is. So you hold it, and it just fits. It's a very natural fit. It is not uncomfortable at all. It is not sharp. The edges are on the sharp side. The sides are rounded off, but the edges are pretty sharp. But you don't feel the edges. They don't really, press into your skin or whatever. It's just extremely comfortable. I was surprised because, as I said, I used this on a pen show. I used someone else's model, and I thought, well, this looks ridiculous. How can you write with this? But once you hold it, I was sold. I truly and utterly was sold. So that's the only thing I can say. I mean, it's there are nice pens. There are very nice pens. Then there are a couple of super nice pens. And then there's the Omas 360. I hate being extremely enthusiastic about something and not being able to bring up, you know, some negative points, but I really love the pen. I can't imagine a single thing that's wrong with it. The only thing I might comment on is that I have a strong feeling this is a fine nib, and I prefer broader nibs, but you know, you buy a pre-owned pen, you can't pick everything, and even though it is fine, it's still really pleasant to use. Not scratchy at all. So, you know, that is really, really cool, and this is already one of my favorite pens. And considering the extremely complete package I was able to obtain at a very reasonable price, you know, including the pouch, the original box, even a bottle that still has quite some ink in it. Amazing. Truly amazing. So, I'll show you what the pen writes, how it writes next, and that's all there's to it. So, I'll see you later. Bye-bye. Okay, so here we go with the Omas 360, the old model. I'm not going to post that because it's too big for me when I post. Even for my big hands, it's a bit too much to post this. The Omas 360, and this is Omas blue ink. The ink that I got with the fountain pen. Omas only makes 3 colors, I think, blue, black, and gray. So this is the blue, and I actually like it. It's an interesting blue. It's fairly dark, a rich blue. Maybe some would call this blue black, because it is on the very dark side. In any case, let's take a look at the pen and the way it writes. First of all, this is moleskine paper, very smooth, and maybe not the best paper around, but it is smooth, you can't deny that. There is no resistance. When I move the nib across the paper, there is just no resistance. This is extremely smooth. There is no scratching. Even though this is a fine nib, it's perfect. 18 karat gold. If you hear a scratchy sound, that's just a microphone of the camera being a bit, you know, it's fairly close to the paper, so that's what you get. It's just that I cannot express how smooth this nib is. I mean, really, it's amazing. You can see it lays down a nice amount of ink fairly rapidly, no problems there. I can hold the pen at the very end, move it across the paper. It was dried out a little bit, but as you can see, no pressure. The pen writes. When it comes to flexing, I'll just increase the pressure I'm putting on the pen here. It is 18 karat, so you know, it is somewhat flexible. Let me move this back a little. The camera gets in the way of the pen. It's a very large pen. So take this as a demonstration of the flexing. As you can see, this line is wider than that line. So you can definitely flex it around a little. I'm a bit careful about that because I really don't want to damage this nib. Yeah, so when you write quickly with it, just to show you whether the feed can keep up. Not being legible, just being quick. See that? No skipping, no skidding, nothing. it writes straight away. It keeps writing even when you're very quick, so the feed can keep up with the ink flow. I mean, really, no complaints. So, as far as I'm concerned, this pen is pretty amazing. So, if you're in the market for a pre-owned pen and you're looking for something that is truly wonderful and unlike any other pen you probably own, if nothing else than just the triangular design will be interesting, seriously consider this. And if you're not seriously consider getting an Omas 360, then start seriously considering getting an Omas 360 right now, the old model, because I guarantee you, you will not regret this. It is truly, I was amazed. So, I think I've used enough, you know, praising superlative language. It's awesome. So, what I would like to do is, I would like to thank you for watching the video. I hope this was useful to you, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.